Today on the channel, we got the brand new West Coast Avengers Marvel Legends Amazon exclusive box set.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got something special. We got an Amazon exclusive box set of the West Coast Avengers. But for all your non-Amazon exclusive needs, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $79 does ship free. And this box set here from Amazon just starting to arrive at people's doorsteps as I'm filming this video here. And the West Coast Avengers, of course, a popular team, not quite the Avengers, but the West Coast Avengers, and an interesting team to say the least, and an interesting box set to say the least, as we're no stranger to these, as Amazon, really, the last few years, we've had a lot of these different box sets, and I do think it is a really cool idea. I'm of an age bracket that loved box sets when I was a little kid. It was always a great day when you'd buy a box or a specialty pack that got you a lot of figures all at one time. That was a good day at the old toy office when I was a kid, and who are we fooling? Still a good day at the office right now. Love the packaging design on these. Love the thought process behind these things. A little bit of something for everybody if you're, I guess, a Marvel Legends Avengers fan, but also putting some reuse in these things to really like where people are saying, I don't want to buy the set, but I'm going to need to buy the set. And we're going to talk about that as we do. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So we started off at the front of the package here. Definitely hits you in those old nostalgia feels of the old West Coast Avengers. I by no means was a kid that read West Coast Avengers when I was a little kid. I remember seeing them, of course, at the comic book store. Only one I remember, there was like a West Coast Avengers annual. I remember having that one, and it actually had this version of Iron Man on the cover, and I remember that one as a kid, but didn't read a lot of them. Of course, a lot of these characters we know, if you're familiar with the Marvel Universe and the crossovers and everything else, you're pretty much enough to be dangerous on a lot of these characters here. We got some all-timers as well in this one, but definitely cool artwork on the front. Absolutely do love that. It says Iron Man, Marvel's Mockingbird, Spider-Woman, Marvel's Tigra, and of course Hank Pym, Avengers 60th anniversary. We know that's going on this year. West Coast Avengers 2023, and then I love the little comic accurate kind of box up there with all their pictures. Looks really, really cool. Speaking of boxes with pictures on the side, looking very cool as well. Love those comic artwork pictures right there. And then this is really cool. There is the yin and the yang. There is the glamour shots from, of course, the figures that we're going to unbox here on the channel here in this very video. On the back, there's the full-on shots of them, kind of the accessories, what's included, bunch of jibber-jabber down there. And then just their eyes, I guess, is what we get for little comic panels right there. So very cool packaging design. Always love the design of these kind of boxes. Almost hate to open them up in some ways, but oh, you know how we do it here. We got to get them out of the package. We're losing stuff already. See you later, Spider-Man style, whatever. Off to the side, we're going to keep that box. I don't know why, but I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep that box. And then we got these guys all locked in. We got some effect pieces flying around here. That's never a good day at the old office. See you later. See you later. Goodbye. Can I get these out? They're all like being ready to sent off into sea. See you later. Goodbye. They're all in their little baggies, all individually. Look like they're going to be a sea burial. See you later. Goodbye. Oh my gosh, we got baggies, little baggies all over the place. What is going on here? We've got all kinds of stuff going on. So we got a lot, but there's a big old nice tray there. I'm here for that. Sure. Once again, why not? But let's get all these out of the package here, out of the old parchment paper. See what's going on. There's Tigra first off. Bam. See you later. And I'm going to try to unbox their accessories too and put them all together. And then we'll go one by one through all these different figures here. But there's old Tigra. Bam. Off the screen. There's her accessories. Looks like Mockingbird right here. A lot of people, Mockingbird is the one they were really hoping for and wanting in this set. See you later. Goodbye. Gonna stick her over here. Oh, we got Hank Pym. Oh, old Hank Pym. The old Pym particles going strong. There we go. Bam. See you later. Oh, split into two. What are we doing? Now we got Spider-Woman. Big fan of this Spider-Woman. I've said it before. This is actually my Spider-Woman. Everybody has their thought process when they close their eyes. See you later. And what Spider-Woman comes to your head, that is the one that works for me. So you may be different, but that's what I always think of. Going back to the old Marvel Action Hour, see you later. Iron Man cartoon, of course. That's what I always thought of with Spider-Woman. Got old Iron Man right there. Bam! See you later. And I got his fists right here. And I do believe these effect pieces also belong to him, so I'll put those over there. And we keep on going. What do we got in this one here? We got two fists. Those are for Spider-Woman. See you later. Goodbye. And we're getting down to the end here. Getting down to the end of things. What is this? Oh, yes, Mockingbird stuff right here. Forgot about that. There we go. Bam! See you later. And there. And over there. And like I said, Mockingbird's kind of the main eventer of this pack in a lot of different ways. Then we got two hands for, I assume, Hank Pym. Those are going to be for. So there we go. Bam! See you later. Now let's get down to business here, and let's go one by one like we always do and talk about each one of these figures. And I guess we're going to start with, we'll start with Spider-Woman. That's where we're going to go first, and we're going to start off with her accessories. And her accessories, just two Fists of Fury. So you want fists on her. If you don't want fists, choose your own hand adventure. You got two fists there. You got the two splayed out hands on her. That's it. That's all we really get for some of these female figures, as we do know. Now, I did mention earlier, when I think of Spider-Woman, this is what I think of. It goes back to the Toy Biz Marvel Action Hour Iron Man line, technically, from back in the Toy Biz days in the 90s. That was my first Spider-Woman figure, and really, I'd heard of Spider-Woman, never really invested in the character until that time. So this always looks really good to me. This is more of a black costume, where I usually think of her in more of a blue costume, but either way, definitely works at the end of the day. So you do got a very Spider-Man black costume or Venom costume, depending how you want to classify it, at least in that part. But then you got the white on the legs and the arms, and of course the emblems on the front. Big old white eyes on her, nice red lipstick going on, no paint imperfection, anything like that. Big blonde hair sticking out that really makes the figure at the end of the day. It really sticks out with that blonde hair, looking really nice. Articulation, arms do go all the way around, bicep cut. Double jointed, pinless elbows, playing all the hits with Spider-Woman right here today. Hands removable, as we do know, back, forth, side to side. Hula hoop at the top, big old Spider-Woman splits, thigh cut, double jointed pinless knees, how about that? And then ankles back, forth, side to side. I feel like we've had this version of Spider-Woman, not with this articulation, but didn't we have one similar to this before? I should have looked through my collection a little bit longer. I felt like we had this somewhere along the lines, but this one is in black, where I'm guessing the last one was in blue if we did get it. She is not going to fit on a stand, as her hole is too small. She needs a little deepening in her hole. It just needs to get worked over a little bit because it is too shallow right there, so she's not going to fit on a stand. But like I said, this is my Spider-Woman, so I like this one a whole lot. This is going to be one of my favorite ones of this set, just because this is my Spider-Woman. But a lot of other versions of Spider-Woman out there. Across the Spider-Verse, we just saw the latest incarnation. So really comes down to how you prefer your Spider-Woman, really, at the end of the day. So there you go. There's old Spider-Woman. Now we're going to turn our attention over to Mockingbird. Mockingbird's an interesting one here, as, of course, former wife of Hawkeye, I believe, and then she died and probably resurrected. The usual comic book stuff, or soap opera stuff, really, at the end of the day. She does come with a Fist of Fury and a karate chop hand. She's ready to do some chopping of wood boards, whatever she needs to do in the old dojo, all the dojo. But she does have two more gripping hands with her here, and you really kind of need these to hold her batons and staffs and things like that. So we do get that. We do get two short sticks here for her, so she gets the old baton sticks, and I believe they connect together. So yes, you can plug these two in together. You can have a medium-sized stick, or what I prefer and what I have is the long stick. Oh, the long stick. There you go. So she does have that, very similar to Gambit's. I think this might even be identical to Gambit's stick that we have, or staff, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But you can choose your own staff adventure right here for old Mockingbird. Now we get down to business on Mockingbird. A very classic design. Feels very like 70s, early 80s design with her kind of jumpsuit going there. Almost looks like swimwear in some ways. And then you get the crazy boots here with the big cuffs over the top. Just very dated it feels, but it feels very classic at the same time, which I'm just a classics guy, so I'm here for that at the end of the day. Starting off with the head, beautiful, wavy, blonde hair, kind of like it's in the wind or something going. Or maybe she's riding on a sky cycle. Could be that too as well. Got some nice mask on her, all stealing that identity. Take that off, and everybody like, I can't believe it's you. But definitely an interesting mask design there on her, very Mockingbird-esque. You got a little bit of that silverish, whitish color, and then, of course, the blue. Beautiful lipsticks, bright blue eyes that will go really good against the blonde hair there. Definitely is Mockingbird. Articulation arm does go around. Articulation, you do get a single joint at the elbow. And that's about it. A little side to side as well. Hands removable back and forth. Like I said, you just have the karate chop hand and the fist of fury over here. Got the nice forearm guards here. The little silver gauntlets going there. Hula hoop at the top, of course. Big old splits for Mockingbird. You get the old thigh cut. Double jointed. Pinless knees. Hits being played. No boot cut on there, but you do get ankles back and forth, side to side. She just got the high heels on, and she is also not going to fit on a stand because she doesn't even have a hole in her foot, so no peg holes for Mockingbird. That is not going to work for her at the end of the day there, so that is a little bit unfortunate, of course, but I do have Hawkeye. Of course, we unboxed this on the channel a couple of months ago. She can ride with Hawkeye, and that's probably how she's going to be on my display, and probably a lot of people's displays that have both of these here. So you can definitely recreate this, have these guys teamed up again if you want to in your own collection, as we always do say. So there you go. There's old Mockingbird. And I guess we're going to finish it off with old Tigra, the final female here. Now, Tigra was a fan channel exclusive prior, so I guess this is another way to get Tigra out there for everybody. If you missed the first time, you have a second chance here. I'm assuming there's going to be some differences. We're going to walk through it, and then we'll compare it to the other Tigra. But we do got a plain Jane face going on here. No, like, craziness to her. Just a Tigra sitting around the office is what this one is. Got the long flowing hair. Orange skin tone. Not quite as bright as the last one, I do believe. She just got her tank top on. Looks like she's ready to go to the beach there. She's got her swimwear is what it really looks like on here. Of course, you got those very Tony the Tiger-esque stripes going on throughout here. Definitely has a tiger feel to it. If you don't know her name, you'd say maybe Tiger Girl, Tiger Woman, something like that. I could see you thinking. Of course, she does have the tail that is movable. We got the big old tail. You can actually remove the tail if you want to. Just easily plugs back in there if you want to. So choose your own tail adventure at the end of the day. Head, of course, does move around. A little bit limited by that hair, of course, there. We do get the second head, and this is very familiar because I think we got this one before. This is Tigra where she's upset. She's mad on this one. And got even crazier hair on this one. And then the teeth showing, the gritting of the teeth, all that fun stuff. And then we do get the very cat-like hands here, giving the old prowl. And then she's got two fists of fury. So you just choose which one you do prefer for you. Arms do go all the way around. Bicep cut. Double jointed. Pinless elbows. Once again, playing the hits. Hands back, forth, side to side. Hula hoop at the top. Some deep hula hoop where you can even see inside of that chest cavity there. So that's some deep articulation. No waist, but you do get the big old splits going on. Thigh cut. Double jointed, pinless knees. Once again, the hits continue to be played here. Back and forth, side to side on the old ankles. Then bare feet here with the long toenails going on. And she does have holes in her feet. Is she going to fit on a ringside collectible stand? As usual, use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. What do you know? She fits perfectly on the stand. The first one to fit on a stand finally here. And I do got the prior version, which is very, very similar as you can imagine. Basically, it is just repainted. Same thing, repainted. So on this one is totally different. So I'm probably going to keep it this way for me because I have this head on this one and those hands on this one. This is more Battle Tigra. This is going to be more plain Jane sticking around, just hanging around Tigra. But exact same figure. But for those that thought this one was way too orange, now you get a second chance with a little bit more toned down version. So for me, I'm going to have two different Avenger displays. They'll be separated, have one this way, one this way. Make them feel as different as you possibly can, and that's what I'm going to do with old Tigra here. So, very cool, but I can see some people not wanting this one just because, like, gosh, I already have a Tigra, don't need another one. Same with Spider-Woman. Maybe it's not your Spider-Woman, didn't need that one. Mockingbird, I think everybody needs in their collection. If you're collecting these type of things, that makes sense. And then you got Iron Man, where maybe you don't need this, as we've had a lot of similar Iron Mans over the years, as we do know, but that's where we're going next here in this unboxing. Now, Iron Man coming with some blast effects. You can put him in his hands, put him in his feet, choose your own blast effect adventure. Nice blue colors. We've seen these numerous times over the years, as we do know, but they do plug in very nice. You got the two repulsor hands here. You can do some of that kind of stuff, or you can use your Fist of Fury for Iron Man. Once again, you can choose your own hand adventure. Articulation on this Iron Man. Arm's going to go all the way around for us. Bicep cut. Double jointed elbows. They are not pinless, unfortunately. Hands removable. Ab crunch. Traditional waist. Big old splits on Iron Man if you need to. Thigh cut. Double jointed knees. No boot cut, but you do get ankles back and forth, side to side. A very glossy figure, as we see with a lot of these Iron Man figures, has a nice gloss to it. Almost like a very, very pale white with a little bit of a hint of gray in it against the shiny kind of a metallic red going on there. And then, of course, the effect on his chest has a little bit more of a blue color going there. But definitely all day long, you know this is Iron Man. You see this one, you say, okay, that's Iron Man. And this one, a lot like some of the other ones in this pack, hey, we've had one very similar in the past. I actually have one, was the Silver Centurion Iron Man. Very, very similar, but a little bit different at the same time. We get a lot of the same stuff going on, same body, same everything. The head seems to be the same. I guess it is the same. It's just a little bit colored differently, of course, but definitely a lot of reuse from this. So if you already had this one, I could see you saying, I didn't really need this one. And that's how I feel with a lot of Iron Man figures, honestly. There's a lot of reuse from Iron Man, which does make sense. We've had so many over the years, it feels like we're retreading on stuff. And just a couple of color changes, some effect changes, and bam, you got a new Iron Man figure. I guess just like Tigra, I'm going to use different hands on him. Try to make them as different as possible. Maybe put one on a flight stand, one on the ground. We'll just figure it out, I guess, there. But not a ton of newness with this Iron Man. It's still an okay figure. I like this figure. It's just not, like I said, a ton of newness with this one here. So take that for what it is at the end of the day. Now we're going to finish it up here with the most plain Jane figure of the bunch, I guess we could say, is old Hank Pym here. We do get a trigger hand, but he didn't come with a weapon, so that's kind of strange. And then we get kind of a gnarly hand here. He's got one of those going on there. And then we get a Fist of Fury, and then we get the other gnarly hand. So do whatever you want to with old Hank Pym. Definitely an interesting figure here. Almost looks like a lab worker, a scientist, or somebody you'd see in G.I. Joe working on the computers while the rest of the Joe team's talking, something like that. Almost looks like a grunt from the G.I. Joe line. Definitely kind of has a suit that's a worker suit, a janitor suit, you could almost say. Would be a perfect customizing opportunity if you want to paint this thing. I think it was green color. X-Men animated series, a 92 animated series back in the day with Professor X. When he was on the Savage Land, you could pop his head on here and you could have that version of Professor X if you wanted to, which would be a good idea for some customizers out there. Definitely an interesting one, Hank Pym. I don't know if you handed me this head, if I would say, oh, that's Hank Pym all day long. Maybe you would, I guess, tell me in the comments. But it does look like a good head sculpt here. But just a very, very plain Jane worker. Looks like somebody that'd be working in the background, something like that. Doesn't really feel like a superhero, but of course, a part of West Coast Avengers. And we know all about the Pyms, especially in the last few years with all the movies on TV. I believe some reuse from the Red Skull and some of those figures that we've had over the last couple of years, this kind of jumpsuit going there. We do get the arms that go all the way around, do get a bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows. This is one of those ones where the elbows look really weird when it's moved because of the bagginess of it. It really does take away in your eye. You really do catch that. And you're like, I just don't like that articulation break. It's not the worst thing we've ever seen, but it's pretty close in all honesty as far as Marvel Legends go. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Wasn't a fan with the Red Skull. Wasn't a fan of some of the other ones we've had in the past. So take that for what it is. Hands back, forth, side to side. Hands removable, as we do know. Big old ab crunch in the middle if you need to. And then, of course, you got the waist. Get the big old splits for old Hank Pym. Thigh cut. Double jointed. Pinless knees. And once again, just kind of looks very unnatural on the break with this baggy janitor outfit. Of course, you get the boot cut, ankles, back, forth, side to side. Does he fit on a ringside collectible Mattel stand? I would have to imagine he does. And what do you know? He does right there. But a very plain one in the orange jumpsuit. You get the silver belt buckle and the black belt, black undershirt peeking through. But besides that, a very, very plain figure, which isn't always bad to get a plain figure because you can mix him in to different things if you want to. You know, like I said, you can put him with G.I. Joe, have him as a Cobra worker or something like that. There's a lot of stuff. And this head sculpt being very plain Jane would be a head sculpt you pull off a G.I. Joe classified figure. This could be Fred the Crimson Guardsman from the old G.I. Joe comic book back in the day if you wanted to. So there's probably some uses out of this one for customizers. And this is an interesting pack as a whole. Of course, Wonder Man is another classic West Coast Avenger guy there. Similar but different between these two. Kind of both got a little suit action going on there. But definitely a lot of members of the West Coast Avengers over the years. But this is one of the more iconic teams, I guess we'd say. You add Hawkeye, of course, Wonder Man, and you're pretty much rounded out with some of the tippy-top guys and gals. I don't know. You guys tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. This is an interesting pack. It is one of those packs, a little expensive. Of course, you're getting 5 figures here, so that makes it expensive. And it's one of those things, if you're a long gamer, wait till Thanksgiving, wait till Christmas time frame. I can see this pack, like all the packs before it, going down to clearance, going a little bit cheaper at least, getting a deal later on. So if you don't have to have this now, you could play the long game for the holiday season, and I'm guessing along the way you'll get a deal on these. So it's up to you how bad you want these. I guess it comes down to how big of a West Coast Avengers fan you are. If you're a toppy guy, that's my team, I gotta have them, I totally get that. But if it's an ancillary team, I can wait 3 or 4 months. I'll pick it up on clearance down the road. You could probably get a deal on this. But like I said, Tigra, Iron Man, I'm feeling like a lot of reuse. Spider-Woman, for me, my favorite Spider-Woman, so I'm happy to have that one. Mockingbird, a definite must-have. And then you got Hank Pym, which is a new character, is something different for the shelf, so I'm okay with this one. So to me, 3 of the 5 are must-haves. The other 2 I could have went either way, but I'll put Tiger on a different shelf, put Iron Man on a different shelf, and that solves that problem right there. So an interesting pack. Is it the greatest pack of all time? Not going to go that far, but really trying to complete these teams, and it being the 60th anniversary of course, the Avengers, I think this one makes a lot of sense. So there you go, the West Coast Avengers Amazon exclusive 5-pack. What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments down below. Picking it up or passing? Let me know your thoughts. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day. We got even more content for you on Patreon. Early access to all the videos, bonus content, giveaways, you name it. It's all going on over there at the old Patreon channel. And best of all, you do support this channel and all the content it brings. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, pick up a t-shirt, and don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So for the West Coast Avengers, I'm West Coast Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.